What it do? Bedtime crew. Hey man, listen, today I am here with my full card predictions for UFC 315. Obviously, the main event, Beneil, remember the name, Muhammad versus Jack Della Maddalena. I mean, this is a badass main event. We got Chevchenko versus Fiora. Jose Aldo's on the card. Alexa Graso's here as well. Benoit Saint-Denis is also going to be on the card. And the rest are nobodies. Hey, man, let's get into this, dude. Early prelims. What is the first fight of the night? We got Brad Katona versus BICKS. Obviously, Almakhan, he had a very good fight against Umar Nurmagomedov. And by that, I mean he had one moment of success and then got dominated the rest of the fight. But against Brad Katona, I'm going to pick BICKS to win this fight. I think with the huge reach advantage, and I just feel like he's a bigger bantamweight on top of that. Full camp, fighting a guy that's a lot less dangerous than someone like Umar Nurmagomedov. Before that, coming into the UFC, he had a lot of momentum. He has a lot of TKOs on his record. And the way that he fights, I feel like you can just watch him move around and just know that he's like a talented, prospect in this division. So I'm going to say that Brad Katona maybe tries to take him down and, hold him against the fence. But I think at some point he's going to get forced into an extended kind of striking exchange because he does not have finishing abilities whatsoever, bro. Brad Katona fucking tries to win by 29-28 decision. That's just what he does. He's going to be jabbing, calf kicking, and trying to smudge BICKS, but I don't think it's going to work. So like I said, I think at some point he will take him down maybe or hold him down against the fence, and he's going to lose him. He's going to get forced out in the open to strike a little bit, and I think Almakhan's going to knock him out inside 2 rounds. So I will be picking BICKS by TKO inside 2 rounds. All right, man. Next fight of the card, we've got Daniel Santos, Mini Oliveira versus Lee Young. I believe that's the way that you say that, dude. I don't know, dude. Something along those lines. I believe the kid's name is. I'm going to be picking Santos to win this fight by decision. I know that he is the smaller man. I know he's coming up from bantamweight. I believe this is a short notice fight for him. And listen, Jung Yong Lee, he did lose to Hyder Emil. He did get chinned by him with like a fucking 20-piece combination up against the fence, but he's pretty decent. I think he's going to have a big reach advantage, a big size advantage. I do think he's going to drop or rock Daniel Santos at some point, and I think this is a really close fight, but lighter man skill, dude. I don't know what to say, man. Dude, Daniel Santos, I'm not going to overthink this, bro. I think he's going to push the pace. I think he's going to work some knees to the body. He's going to beat up Lee against the fence. And I think as the fight goes on, he's going to settle in a little bit more. Like I said, he definitely will get dropped at some point in round 1, but I think he's a little bit more well-rounded overall. He trains with a very good team. He's going to be able to threaten submissions, knees to the body, knees to the head. And I think he's going to put on a pace due to being the lighter, easier weight cut. He's probably going to be in decent shape, even though it's on short notice because he's not doing a huge weight cut. I'm going to say Daniel Santos wins this one by decision, but it's a close fight. I could definitely see Jung Yong Lee winning this one. He's powerful. He's big for the division, but I'm going to trust the lighter man skill of Daniel Santos. I'm going to say he pushes the pace and wins by unanimous decision, 29-28, some knees to the body, some elbows up against the fence, maybe some submission attempts, up against a front headlock type of thing. He's almost threatening a ghillie and he starts throwing knees to the head. Gets to control some time against Jung Yong Lee. That's kind of what I'm getting from this fight, okay? Let's move on. Headlining the early prelims, we've got Marc-Andre Barriault versus Bruno Silva. All right, dude. What a fucking matchup, man. 2 legends of the middleweight division. Now, Barriault, okay. This is my logic on this. Barriault is the favorite, okay? And I think he is more technically sound than Bruno Silva. But you have to remember that this is the middleweight division. And that doesn't fucking mean anything. Barriault pushes the pace. He doesn't really have power. He is a decision type of guy. He's going to mix in the grappling at some point. And he's a guy that, builds as a fight goes on. But unfortunately for him, his style, he's a slugger. He puts his head down. He tries to go 3 or 4 punches at a time, mix you up in the clinch a little bit, try and take you down. Bruno Silva's a fluke master, dude. Bruno Silva, I think if Marc-Andre Barriault gets in the pocket with him, he will get caught by something big at some point. Every single person that Bruno Silva has fought, even in his worst performances, he is able to land big shots just because he's a Brazilian, he's big, and he has the same reach as Marc-Andre Barriault. So when they're in the pocket, there's not going to be a disparagement. Like, there's not going to be a difference. Woo, that was some fucking good vocab. But regardless, you get what I mean, right? It's not like a Sergey Pavlovich type of thing, where if they get in the pocket, he has this huge reach advantage. He's going to be able to outpiece him up. You know what I mean? It's evens. And Andre Barriault is coming off 2 brutal fucking KOs. And listen, I can understand getting slept by Big Joe Pyfer. Listen, man, I trained with Big Joe back in Philly. He's sleeping everybody in the gym. This trial guy came in. He was like 130 pounds. Joe Pyfer slept him out cold. There is no shame in getting knocked out by Joe Pyfer. I draw the line at getting slept by fucking Dustin Stoltzfus, bro. I draw the line on your chin when you get flatlined out cold by Dustin Stoltzfus in the pocket. So I'm going to say that in this fight, Andre Barriault's going to be winning. Maybe gets a takedown early on. Bruno Silva kind of looks all awkward and jittery. You know, Barriault starts landing some little combos. You know what I mean? He's doing his little thing at range. I think at some point they're going to break away from a clinch, or like Bruno Silva will get back up. And I think he's just going to sleep Andre Barriault with the right hand. I think he's going to either drop him really bad and then follow up, or he will like one-shot KO Andre Barriault at some point. Like, Bruno Silva is dangerous. He's extremely durable as well, which makes me think that there's not going to be moments of Andre Barriault like finishing him early on, right? Which is a factor. If you can take him down, control him, or you can really, really damage him, he does kind of just reside himself to losing a close decision. But I think because Barriault's more of a volume type of striker and more of a decision-based fighter, I think Bruno Silva will be able to settle in and land a counter shot that sleeps Andre Barriault. So maybe a risky pick here. I will be picking Bruno Silva by KO, maybe end of round 1 or round 2 at some point. That's probably what I'll go with. All right, man. Let's move on. What do we got here? What do we got on the prelims, dude? What do we got, man? Navajo Sterling, all right, versus Ivan Urslan. Now, if you were here for my UFC Paris predictions, when Ivan Urslan fought Kutalaba, I said, this man looks like a fucking 2003 NPC that fought Fedor in Pride. Am I wrong? Does Ivan Urslan not look like the type of guy? Dude, what are you talking about, bro? Fedor beat fucking Ivan Urslan back in the day. That's what this guy looks like to me. He wins one, loses one, wins one, loses one, and I don't think he is of the level in the UFC to fraud check Navajo Sterling. I think Sterling's going to win this fight by decision. I could see a knockout. Like, I can weirdly picture a check left hook just face planting Ivan Urslan at some point. But I'm going to say, based on the rough and tumble look of this guy, he looks like a really he looks like a scary Uber driver you wouldn't want to mess with. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my Uber driver tier list. He looks like a really scary taxi driver you wouldn't want to mess with, right? I think Urslan's going to be tough. And he does have the type of power to where not only will he open up and get countered more than someone who's just shelling up trying to survive like the GOAT Taco Tacos, but I do think that Urslan's power will make Sterling a little bit more locked in, a little bit more defensively sound, not going too much with the volume. I think Sterling is just going to play it safe. He's going to use the reach advantage. He's going to use his range, leg kicks, jabs, body work, occasional, a couple shots to the body, boom, big uppercut when Urslan's shelling up, right? Slips out the way, leans back, you know what I mean? I think Sterling will have a decent performance, probably like a 30-27 decision. I do think he's a pretty solid prospect, but against someone that's tough, a lot of KOs on his record, I think he will play it a little bit safe against Urslan. Maybe he can counter him. If Urslan's really, really aggressive, I do think he'll get slept. But if this is like a rangy, kind of patient fight, I don't think Sterling will go overboard to try and get a finish. I think that this is the type of matchup that you either clearly fucking win or you just get fluked with a KO. So I'm going to say Sterling pretty confidently. I'm picking him to win this one. I'll go with decision, 30-27. I could see a KO though, all right? I'm pretty confident in Sterling. Next fight we got Modestas Bukauskas versus Ion Cutelaba. I'm picking fucking Cutelaba, dude. I'm picking Cutelaba, bro. I fuck with Cutelaba. I do like Bukauskas, but I don't think he's the level of guy that beats Cutelaba, dude. Like, Kutelaba's record is fucking dog shit. I know that it looks really bad, and he has been really inconsistent in the UFC, but I think lately he's settled into what he is, which is, if you are worthy of being ranked, if you're like a top 15 level fighter, you will beat Cutelaba, right? Like Magomed Ankalaev comes to mind, Kennedy Nzechukwu, right? For some reason, he lost to fucking Felipe Lins. But outside of that, it's mainly, if you go through his record, it's like Glover Teixeira, not Khalil, he beat Khalil. But guys like that, like guys that are ranked worthy guys beat him. Otherwise, We're talking about fucking Ebo Aslan, Ivan Urslan. Why are these names all the same? Devin Clark. That level of fighter, Cutelaba beats them. And I think that BICKS is more of a unranked, like, oh, he's all right type of fighter than the type of guy that will beat Cutelaba and be ranked. So I'm going to say Cutelaba puts him on the back foot, makes his chin go up a little bit. I know BICKS is a little bit chinny. He's a little bit susceptible to being pressured and kind of put on the back foot. I think that plays into the way that Cutelaba fights really well. I'm going to say Cutelaba backs him up with some big shots. BICKS maybe lands a couple of nice front kicks to keep him at bay. And then at some point, Cutelaba is going to duck under a big shot, take him down, probably get a ground and pound TKO. I'm going to say inside 2 rounds, Cutelaba wins this fight by TKO. Yeah, I feel like I said, what it comes down to really is, do I think BICKS will be ranked? No. Therefore, I think Cutelaba beats him. And the fact that he's 31 is also like fucking insane to me, dude. It would be one thing if Cutelaba was 36 or 35 or some shit based on how much he's fought in the UFC, but the guy is literally entering his fucking prime. The title run is just starting now for the Hulk. So I'm picking Cutelaba by TKO, mate. All right. Next fight on the card, we've got Jessica Andrade versus Jasmine Jasudavicius. Last week, I tried to be smart. I tried to be fucking Oppenheimer of the women's MMA divisions, and I picked Marina Rodriguez to beat Jillian Robertson. I was like, dude, I don't care about the momentum. You know, look at the level of competition. I'm not going to overthink this one. Jessica Andrade is washed. She's undersized at flyweight. Jasudavicius has a lot of momentum. She has some good wins on her record. She beat Meryl Buena Silva most recently. I think she's going to have a size advantage. I think she's going to get in the pocket with Andrade, you know, piece her up a little bit, maybe get rocked once or twice. But I think as soon as she mixes in takedowns from her striking, she will ragdoll Andrade. And by ragdoll, I mean clinch her up against the fence, maybe take her down once or twice. But I think once you get Jessica Andrade flat on her back, the round is pretty much over. So for me, I do see a world where Jasudavicius, like, in a close round, gets a hold of Andrade and trips her with an outside body lock type of trip and just flattens her out. Like I said, Jessica Andrade, once you put her on her back, she's like a fucking turtle, dude. She's not getting up, bro. She's built to walk forward at you and maraud you. So as soon as you put her on the back foot and up against the fence, and as soon as you get a hold of her like Erin Blanchfield was able to do, especially when you have a size advantage like this, I think the second she hits the mat, she's just going to get smudged by Jasudavicius. And yeah, dude, I trust Jasudavicius. She's got good momentum. She's on a good run. She's on the hometown advantage as well. I'm going to say Jasudavicius wins this one by decision. 29-28, maybe a 30-27 scorecard here or there. That's what I'll say. I'll be a bit risky, say 30-27. But yeah, I'm going to not overthink this. I'm just going to pick Jasudavicius. I feel like that's the move to make. All right, man. Headlining the prelims, Mikey Malot, dude. Mikey Malot versus Charles Radkkey. Now, I'm going to be brave, guys. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to pick Mike Malot to win a fight, okay? I know. Give it up, guys. I'm going to be brave here. I'm going to pick Mike Malot to win a fight. Charles Radkkey's dangerous, okay? I know that, and I know what it is with Malot, bro. How the fuck do you lose to fucking Neil Magny, bro? I know that's why it's so hard to pick him, because it's just a hilarious fucking loss. Like him with the fucking ice pack on his head from Neil Magny. Like, imagine waking up and and you're like, what happened? And the doctor's like, yeah, Neil Magny caught you, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? I know that's embarrassing, but at the same time, Charles Radkkey went life and death with fucking Blood Diamond. Okay, no disrespect to my GOAT Blood Diamond. I've met him in real life. Real ones know the law. But dude, I just feel like Mike Malot is just a better fighter than Charles Radkkey. I think Radkey's going to have a power advantage. I think he's a little bit more of a consistently proven finisher at welterweight. Obviously, Mike Malot has a whole career at featherweight before he came back to fighting and went to the welterweight division. But he is a bigger guy. And I think Mike Malot is going to use range. He's going to use front kicks. I think he's going to use the jab. I think he's going to use a lot of calf kicks, which will work really well against Charles Radkkey. And I'm going to say that this is like this is like advanced ball knowledge, dude. I'm going to say this is like a Matt Schnell, Jimmy Flick type of fight. I think they're going to be scrambling back and forth every time there's a grappling exchange. I can see Mike Malot jumping a guillotine as soon as Radkkey even like hints at attempting a takedown at some point. I think I could see both of these guys rocking each other back and forth. I think this is going to be a very competitive fight back and forth, but I'm going to say that overall throughout the matchup, Charles Radkkey is more dangerous of a finish, but Mike Malot has very good counterpunching. We've seen him knock out people like Mickey Gall with that one-shot KO. Obviously he has the guillotine threat also. I'm going to say that Mike Malot does come out on top in this one, just being a little bit quicker, a little bit sharper, using range a little bit more. I think the calf kicks are going to add up to the movement of Charles Radkkey, who is mainly a boxer. That's kind of the difference too. I'd say Mike Malot has more ways to win in terms of like he can mix in his grappling, he can look for submissions. His calf kicks are really dangerous. If he paces himself a little bit better than the fucking Magny fight, I don't think Radkey's going to have an easy time taking him down. So I'll say Mike Malot wins this fight by decision. I'm going to say 29-28. It's a competitive, like, scrap type of fight. I think it'll be pretty entertaining, though. So these are my picks for the prelims. I'm going with Mike Malot. I'm going with Jasuda Vicious. I'm going with Kudalaba. Going with Sterling, Bruno Silva, Daniel Santos, and Bekzat Imakan. All right? Now, main card. Benoit Saint-fucking-Denis, dude. I was so excited to get on this video and talk about how Joel Alvarez is going to send Benoit Saint-Denis to the GFL. I was so excited to see this man's downfall, but now he's back. He's winning this fight. I don't know who Kyle Propoleak is. He's not beating fucking Benoit Saint-Denis. Why is this the only option we have? You seriously couldn't get fucking Chase Hooper or anyone to agree. You could. Where's Mauricio Rufy? Where the fuck is Rufy? Where the fuck is Moicano? He took 0 down. Never mind, they already fought each other. Where's Dariush? What the fuck are we doing, bro? All I gotta say is congratulations, Benoit Saint-Denis, on your first round submission victory. I'm not even gonna make a prediction. I'm just gonna do my post-fight analysis right now. Benoit did a great job in this fight of walking down this random 35-year-old guy from Canada and putting him on the back foot. Got a really nice takedown up against the fence, threw a couple of punches, shot in on a double leg, picked him up, got on his back, and secured the rear naked choke. Midway through round 1, maybe it lasted a little bit longer, but yeah, Benoit Saint-Denis with a very impressive first round finish to get back some momentum, to have some time in the cage where he's not getting pulverized. And yeah, dude, I'm pretty disappointed in Benoit for, avoiding the GOAT gamer Mateus Gamrot, but I can't say I blame the kid, because if he got in there with Mateus Gamrot, he would have had a really bad night. Same with if he got in there with Joel Alvarez, but I think in this matchup, Benoit Saint-Denis, it's a pretty fucking obvious pick. He's going to win by submission. And yeah, dude, we're going to have to wait longer to see him fight some other guys in the top 15. So yeah, Benoit Saint-Denis, round 1, rear naked choke. Easy money, free money. Let's move on, man. Alexa Grasso versus Natalyia Silva. Dude, this is my fight of the night, man. Dude, I'm 6 foot, by the way, guys. This is my fight of the night, guys. I'm so excited for this fight. I cannot fucking wait to watch this, dude. I don't even give a fuck about the main event. I just want to watch Alexa Grasso versus Natalyia Silva. I fuck with this fight. All right, let me stop. I'm picking Natalyia Silva. I'm going to pick Natalyia Silva by decision. I've never been the biggest Grasso fan. People called me a fucking madman for saying that she fluked a win over Chevchenko and that Shevchenko's better than her. And it got proved. I don't know how over the trilogy she devolved. I don't know how that's possible that over the trilogy Grasso got worse at fighting. Like, she just stopped being good at grappling. She just thinks she's fucking Canelo now or some shit. I don't know. I think Natalyia Silva's just too well-rounded. I think she's going to be really hard for Grasso to track down with her jab. I don't think she's going to have an easy time taking down Silva. I feel like most of her opponents try and do that. And I think this fight is just going to be Natalyia Silva at range, kicking the legs, front kicks to the body when Grasso tries to step in, moving around on the back foot, defending takedowns, being held against the fence, reversing position. I don't think it's going to be this crazy scrap. Some people are trying to, like, I said something about it in my video on the bingo card, and people in the comment, dude, you don't know anything about the sport, bro. Dude, Silva Grasso is going to be fight of the night. All right, man. Have fun watching that one. I think it's going to be a just chill WMMA 29-28. Natalyia Silva's just going to kick her at range, probably, get jabbed up a little bit, but just throw more, land more, defend takedowns, use range a lot better. She has more options in this fight than Grasso does. I think Grasso's going to have a hard time tracking her down with the boxing. And I think because she's not a big flyweight, I can't really see her, like, just grabbing a hold of Silva and taking her down. Like, I could see, like, a Chevchenko or a Fiora being able to, all right, fuck this, the striking's not working. I can get a hold of Silva and just pick her up and dump her, you know what I mean? Because she's not a super big flyweight, but I think for Grasso being a former strawweight, she's tall, but she's not, like, this big, muscular kind of flyweight, I don't think grappling is going to be an option for her to win this fight. I'm going to say Silva wins by decision. All right, man. Couple fights left to talk about. Let's talk about this featured fight, man. Who am I going to pick? Man, this is a tough fight to pick, dude. I mean, you've got one of the greatest fighters of all time, legend of the sport, and he's going to be taking on Jose Aldo in the bantamweight division. Listen, bro. Listen, dude. If Jose Aldo loses this fight, I will shave my head bald like fucking Eamon Zahabi, dude. I'm not picking this fucking guy. I'm not getting a fake hardcore gaslit. Oh, yeah, man. Dude, Zahabi's freaking killer, dude. Dude, Zahabi's freaking underrated, man. Don't sleep on Zahabi. I'll be sleeping on Zahabi. I will be sleeping on Zahabi. I will have a great time counting this fucking guy out. This is a local janitor from Canada. What does this guy do? How is he getting this fight? It doesn't make a fucking lick of sense to me. Eamon Zahabi, how has he got this fight against Jose Aldo? I'm picking Jose Aldo by easy dominant decision. I'm picking Jose Aldo by easy decision. I'm saying Jose Aldo 30-27 is this guy. I literally had to think about this because... Obviously, I'm a functioning human being with a brain, so I saw this matchup and was like, what the fuck? Jose Aldo's gonna win this easily. But people genuinely, I don't know if this is just like people trolling me or what, but people are starting to kind of be like, dude, he's a dark hood. Don't sleep on fucking Zahabi, dude. So I had to go on YouTube and look up this guy's highlights because I've never seen him fight before. He's only been on Apex Prelims. And I'm thinking, all right, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe Zahabi is just this absolute monster at bantamweight at 37. You know what I mean? Like, you never know, right? He's not a monster. I can confirm for you, if you were worried, he is literally like Bilal Muhammad, except without the takedowns, without the physicality. He's at bantamweight as well, so that it removes even more of it. There is actually skilled fighters in this division, like Jose Aldo. You're not going to take down Jose Aldo. I don't think Zahabi is as quick or as high output as like a Mario Batista or a Marab, who can just keep fucking spamming takedowns against the fence and, you know, big boxing combinations to make Jose Aldo cover up. I think Zahabi is genuinely just going to be too slow for this guy and just get pieced up. I think Jose Aldo is going to kick him to the body. I think he's going to make Zahabi miss. I think he's going to counter him with big boxing combinations, rip into the body, big uppercut on the break. I'm not going to overthink this whatsoever. Jose Aldo is literally a million times better than this guy. Jose Aldo on his worst day. Jose Aldo could literally stay up to 3 a.m. the night before this. Wake up at 7 a.m. Not have a coffee. Literally not even warm up. I think he would win this fight. If Jose Aldo loses, the sport is done. I think he wins this fight. I think, like I said, the biggest thing in this matchup for me is not only the skill discrepancy, and I'm not trying to shit on Eamon Zahabi. It's just really funny that people are like, people are so used to this sport being depressing and making no sense that they're kind of like gaslighting themselves. No, dude, Zahabi's freaking dark horse, dude. Zahabi's really talented, man. He's just an average fucking guy. Like, he's just an apex fucking jabroni, dude. I think Jose Aldo is going to be faster than him. I think he's going to hit harder. I don't think he's going to get held down or held against the fence by Eamon Zahabi. He's going to be physically much quicker, much stronger, way more skillful. The jab will be there. The body shots will be there. Leg kicks will be there, inside and outside. And I think that Jose Aldo is going to completely style on Eamon Zahabi by decision. I think he's going to drop him maybe at one point, but I will say that Jose Aldo is a bit of a slow starter. Maybe the first round is like competitive, like, oh, maybe Zahabi won that round on one scorecard. But outside of that, I think Jose Aldo is just levels above this guy. He should be fighting real names in the division. Instead, he's fighting fucking Ariel Helwani on the featured fight of a pay-per-view. So I'm going to trust Jose Aldo to get this one done. Like I said, very clear, dominant decision win for Jose Aldo. If he loses, I will be genuinely fucking shocked, okay? Next fight on the card, co-main event. What a banger, man. What a fucking barn burner this is. I cannot wait, dude. I'm losing sleep over thinking about this fight. I'm so excited. But I am actually interested to talk about this because I will be picking Valentina Shevchenko. And Manon Fiora was the favorite going into this. I checked on the UFC website. Now she's no longer the favorite. I don't know if they realized, oh, fuck, we had Fiora as the favorite. I don't know what the go was with this. I don't know why she was the favorite. I don't think she beats Shevchenko. I'm going to say Valentina Shevchenko pieces up Fiora and gets held against the fence in between doing that. Fiora's wins, like her best wins, are She beat Mero Bueno Silva back in the day when she wasn't even at bantamweight. She beat Rose Namajunas, who is a fucking strawweight. And even then, that was a very competitive, close fight. And I'll talk about that in a second. And she beat fucking Erin Blanchfield. And Erin Blanchfield in that fight looked like shit, dude. And Erin Blanchfield in that fight, not only did she look bad, she looked like if I had to describe that matchup, it was like a drunk girl trying to get into the club and the bouncer just keeps having to like hold her back. It was not like Fiora. It's like, oh my god, dude, Fiora's fucking dominating her on the feet and, you know, she's stuffing the takedowns. She has good takedown defense, like I said, against Namajunas, against Blanchfield. She's shown that she has good takedown defense. She has high fight IQ. She's a big flyweight. But on the feet, I'm expecting, like, I find out she's the favorite. I'm going, oh shit, did I miss something? I rewatched her fights. And by the way, you're welcome that I rewatched fucking Manon Fiora and Chevchenko fights, like, in full. So if you could just subscribe, that'd be really appreciated. But dude, she's not this like elite dominant striker, bro. She has good takedown defense. She's big. She probably hits pretty hard for a flyweight. But when I watch her move around, she leaves her chin up. She drops her hands a lot. She leans a lot over. Like, for some reason, she leans to her left a lot. Like really, really a lot when I watch her fight. And I think that in this fight, she will be able to get a hold of Chevchenko and mix it up a little bit, because that's always been a weakness for Valentina, is if you can mix in the grappling, you can mix in a takedown, hold her against the fence. Like, you can kind of stall out the fight a little bit. But I think on the feet, Manon Fiora is going to get fucking pieced up, dude. I could see her getting rocked with like a check right hook, or like a lead side head kick by Valentina. I could see Valentina hitting her with a head kick or a check hook and like rocking her really bad, or like dropping her or something like that. But I think because of her size and her durability and her takedown defense, she's a pretty decent grappler. I'm going to say that Fiora, plus she has power, she will survive the distance. I'm going to say Chevchenko wins by unanimous decision, like 49-46. Maybe a 48-47 on one scorecard. But I just think when you look at this matchup, it's like the grappling is competitive. I'd say Fiorot's probably got better takedown defense, but Shevchenko's like quite good at wrestling. I think she will be able to take her down if she wants to. Whereas if this is a mainly striking fight, which I think it will be, I think Shevchenko is like levels above Fiora as a striker, dude. Like I said, I was almost like fake hardcore convinced, like, I don't know, dude, maybe Fiora wins this. Then I'm so thankful that I actually watched footage, because then I was like, never mind, you know, because I'm gonna be I'm gonna admit some shit right now. I've never actually sat down and gone, yeah, dude, I can't wait for this Manon Fiora fight. I think I watched her fight Namajunas. I did not watch her fight Blanchfield until today, and it is literally like watching someone, again, stop like a drunk fucking like college girl from going back into the club. Like, she just hugs her and just pushes her off. And people are like, dude, Fiora's fucking future champion, bro. I don't see it. I think her striking is really not that good. I think Shevchenko can mix it up with her in the grappling, but she can decide to keep it standing, and out in the open, she's going to absolutely piece up Fiora. Like I said, I'm seeing her dropping her or rocking her with like a check hook or a head kick on the lead side, but I do think that Fiora's going to be tough and going to be able to survive, have some decent moments in the grappling. I'm going to say it's a close decision, but one scorecard will be like 48-47, one will be like 49-46. I think it'll be a clear Shevchenko win, but she doesn't like destroy Fiora, if that makes sense. All right, man. Main event, mate. JDM by fucking TKO. I'm standing on fucking business with this, dude. Oh my fucking god. The way that you guys, because I dropped a full video about this, so make sure you go watch that video. I've done a 17-minute breakdown. People are calling it glaze. Tell me one thing I said that was wrong in that video. You literally cannot. It's just because it's glaze. Like, you won't listen to glaze. But it's facts, dude. Glaze can be facts, all right? You guys actually piss me off so much with the double stand. I'm picking JDM by TKO or by decision, okay? One fight ago, all of you, as an MMA fan base, were swearing up and down Belal Muhammad will not beat Leon Edwards. That's a fucking fact. You guys were swearing up and down, oh, Belal Muhammad sucks. Oh, he lost to Luque. Oh, he lost to Jeff Neal, blah, 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 blah. He wins a 48-47 decision against Leon Edwards, who just got absolutely dog-walked in his last fight. Has never finished fucking anybody except Kamaru Usman. Went to a split decision with Gunnar Nelson. And you guys take that performance where Belal Muhammad nearly got finished 2 or 3 times. Got reversed every single time he got on top, except for the first round. Literally almost gets submitted by Leon Edwards. Almost gets knocked out by Leon Edwards via ground and pound with like 10 seconds left. You look at that performance and you get on here and you think you're a genius because you do, JDM got taken down by Gilbert Burns. Literally, with one fucking arm, JDM can scramble and get back up from underneath Gilbert Burns and finish him. Can completely time a knee on him perfectly, knock him out cold. Hey, by the way, you guys want to talk about MMA math since you guys care so much about the Hafez fight without the context of it being short notice, Hafez clearly on fucking roids coming into the UFC. Why don't we talk about the fact that Chimaev and Belal couldn't finish fucking Burns, but JDM did? Are we gonna, does that count? Oh no, it doesn't count, dude, it doesn't count. He went to split decision with Kevin Holland. You guys literally are looking at MMA math instead of just looking at the matchup for what it is. But Belal Muhammad is nearly 37 years old, bro. Like, on the verge of being 37. JDM is 28, in his prime, entering his prime. He has 70% takedown defense. If you rewatch the Hafez fight, most of the time where he ends up on bottom is from him jumping a submission attempt, which he's obviously not going to fucking do against Belal Muhammad because his only way to win is by grappling. Belal Muhammad has to win this fight by unanimous decision, bro. You watch JDM go with a guy like Hafez or Burns, they are more likely to get a submission than Belal Muhammad. I'm not saying they are better than Belal Muhammad. You fucking bro, you guys piss me off with this shit. But JDM has proven he can survive on the ground, even if he gets taken down. He can scramble, he can use his jiu-jitsu to get back up. And when they're out in the open and on the feet, JDM is going to be causing more damage. He's a better striker than Belal Muhammad. He's more powerful than Leon Edwards. That's just a fact, dude. JDM has the ability, and this is the biggest thing for me. JDM has the ability to shift momentum really quickly. When you rewatch Belal Muhammad versus Leon Edwards, please tell me that if JDM does this exact same thing that Leon did and reverses position and starts raining down elbows, that he doesn't finish Belal. You know that he does. You know JDM would finish him in that spot and Leon wouldn't because Leon overthinks fucking everything. And he has bad cardio. And he's chinny as well. That's why he looked like shit on the feet, even though in that fight, there's so many combos and moments that he has against Belal that I look at and I go, dude, if JDM gets this chance, he will rock Belal Muhammad. That's genuinely just how I think about it, dude. JDM is way more likely to finish this fight, 110%. Belal Muhammad has to push a crazy pace in this fight. He has to take down JDM again and again and again and hold him down for a large majority of the fight because every time they're out in the open, I think JDM's going to piece him up, dude. Not only is he going to out damage him, I think he's going to be really hard for Belal Muhammad to hit. I think that the jab is going to really damage Belal Muhammad badly. I think the bodywork of JDM is going to slow down Belal Muhammad a little bit because, like I said, he's not going to be able to bully JDM like he could bully Leon Edwards or Gilbert Burns, right? It's a totally different matchup. So when I think about my prediction for this, I did a full video about it. I'm not going to repeat all those points. I've got the rant out that I needed to, but this is how I think about it, dude. As the fight goes on, JDM is going to be doing more damage. He's going to find better timing defending the takedowns. And I can see him, even up against the fence, I can see him threatening some sort of choke attempt. I can see him threatening a guillotine or a ninja choke or something like that. And I think at some point, Belal Muhammad is going to get reversed from a good position, end up on bottom, or end up scrambling off and JDM kind of trips him. And then Belal Muhammad gets up against the fence. I think as soon as Belal Muhammad is against the fence long enough, he will get rocked badly. I can definitely picture Belal Muhammad doing the chicken dance in this fight. And I think he's going to get finished up against the fence. I think it's either going to be a left hook on the break. I could see a body shot, something like that. The scorecards might even be favoring Belal Muhammad after a good first round. I definitely think at some point he will pick up JDM and take him down. I think at least once or twice in this fight, you're going to see Belal Muhammad pick up JDM, take him down, control him a little bit. But I think as this fight goes on, we're going to see JDM prove what I know and what, fans that have watched him fight actually know. This guy can scramble back up from terrible fucking positions. He does not slow down, bro. He is a crazy high output guy. He's accurate as fuck. He makes you miss. He rips you to the body. And he times people really fucking well. I think he's going to mix up shots to the body. I think he's going to damage Belal with the jab to keep him at range, make him a little bit uncomfortable on the feet, make the takedown defense a little bit easier out in the open. And I think at some point, like I said, he's going to put Belal back against the fence. I think he's going to rock him really badly. Maybe he threatens a submission at some point in the fight, but I'm going to say JDM wins this by TKO in round 3 or 4. And the last thing I'll say about this, people are making comparisons to Urseg Pantoja or Volk versus Makhachev. The comparison I have for this fight is Volk versus Topuria. I think JDM literally can lose the first round, maybe half the second round. it only takes one sequence from JDM to get finished. That's genuinely just a fact. You can call it glaze all you want. If you actually watch the fucking sport, you know what I'm talking about. God forbid a brother glazes another Australian brother. I'm not getting on here going, mate, JDM by fucking round 5 submission, bro. I'm not fucking delusional like the Whitaker Chimaev. That's where the Aussie casual came from. I genuinely think JDM in this matchup, even if he gets taken down, he can scramble back up because he's working specifics with Craig Jones, and he's going to be doing way more damage in this fight. I feel like that's very logical to say. He's proven that even in bad performances, he can change momentum and he can finish people. He can rock them really badly. He can put them up against the fence and beat the shit out of them. So I'm picking JDM by TKO, round 3, maybe round 4. I'm going to say more likely round 3 TKO for JDM. Up against the fence, he finishes Belal Muhammad. And I can just see the visual of Belal Muhammad really bloody and really damaged in this fight. So that's my prediction. That's my opinion on this. Let me know down below your predictions for UFC 315. Sure, you guys are going to be very, very happy with my prediction of the main event. But yeah, let me know what you think down below. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, drop a like, go follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bedtime MMA. And I will see you guys in the next video, man. Goodbye.